September 10th, 2025, began like any other day in Evergreen, Colorado. The sun crested over the pine-covered mountains, casting a golden glow on the quiet streets. The town, nestled in the foothills, seemed peaceful and untouched by the chaos of the outside world. Early risers sipped coffee on their porches, and the gentle hum of life in Evergreen was just beginning. The air was crisp, the mountains silent, and students at Evergreen High School moved through their routines, unaware of what was coming. Backpacks slung over shoulders, they greeted friends, shared jokes, and made plans for the weekend. The school, surrounded by towering evergreens, felt like a safe haven, a place where nothing bad could ever happen. Parents dropped off their kids, teachers prepped lessons, and the halls buzzed with laughter and chatter. The familiar sounds of lockers slamming and sneakers squeaking on the floor filled the air. Teachers reviewed their notes, ready to inspire young minds, while students hurried to their first classes, some still half asleep, others brimming with energy. But beneath the surface, a storm was gathering. Dark clouds rolled in, unnoticed by most, hinting at the turmoil to come. There was a strange stillness in the air, a tension that no one could quite place, a sense that something was about to change. Suddenly, the ordinary was shattered by the sound of gunfire, a sound that would forever scar the community. The echo of shots rang out, piercing the morning calm and sending shockwaves through the school and the town beyond. In an instant, everything changed. Confusion reigned, frantic texts, garbled 911 calls, rumors spreading online. Students huddled together, trying to make sense of the chaos, while parents desperately tried to reach their children. Social media exploded with unverified reports, adding to the fear and uncertainty. Parents rushed to the school, hearts pounding with fear. Some ran, others drove as fast as they could, desperate for any news. The crowd outside grew, a sea of anxious faces searching for answers, clinging to hope that their loved ones were safe. The reality set in. An active shooter was inside Evergreen High. Law enforcement moved quickly, weapons drawn, determined to protect as many lives as possible. The school, once a place of learning and laughter, was now a scene of fear and uncertainty. Students hid, teachers became protectors, and the school transformed from a place of learning to one of terror. Classrooms were barricaded, lights turned off, and whispers of comfort passed between trembling students. Teachers did their best to keep everyone calm, shielding them from the horror unfolding outside their doors. Outside, sirens wailed, marking the beginning of a tragedy that would change Evergreen forever. The world watched as the small town faced its darkest day, united in fear, grief, and the hope that, somehow, they would find the strength to heal. The attack was swift, catching everyone off guard, and devastating, leaving a trail of chaos and heartbreak in its wake. At just after 10 a.m., a 17-year-old student, who had been a part of the school community, entered the school with a semi-automatic rifle bought through a private sale, a transaction that bypassed background checks. He went straight to the library, a place meant for learning and peace, and opened fire, shattering the silence with gunshots. 2 students were killed, their lives cut tragically short, and 4 others were wounded, their futures forever altered. The shooter moved into the hallway, continuing his rampage, firing indiscriminately until confronted by a brave school resource officer and deputies who risked their lives to stop him. The exchange was brief. The shooter was stopped, but the damage was done, leaving a community in shock and disbelief. In less than 10 minutes, Evergreen was changed forever, its sense of safety shattered. Parents gathered at a community center, desperate for news, their hearts heavy with fear and uncertainty. Most were reunited with their children, relief washing over them like a wave. But 2 families faced unimaginable loss, their lives forever changed by the tragedy. As the sun set, the community mourned, vigils were planned, and makeshift memorials appeared, a testament to the lives lost and the pain felt by all. The shock and grief were overwhelming, a heavy burden shared by everyone. The question echoed, how could this happen here, again in Colorado, a state still healing from past tragedies? The search for answers had only just begun, as investigators worked tirelessly to piece together the events of that fateful day, hoping to prevent such a tragedy from happening again. Evergreen's tragedy is part of a painful legacy in Colorado. The memory of Columbine, just miles away, still haunts the state. 12 students and a teacher killed in 1999. Since then, Colorado has endured more heartbreak. Platte Canyon in 2006, Arapahoe in 2013. Each event reopens old wounds and deepens the collective trauma. These aren't just headlines, they're personal tragedies for entire communities. The contagion effect means each shooting can inspire the next, as troubled individuals fixate on past attacks. For Coloradans, every new shooting is a painful reminder of the past. The names, Columbine, Platte Canyon, Arapahoe, Evergreen, mark a map of sorrow. This history shapes every debate and every parent's fear. The burden is heavy, and the need for change grows with each tragedy. After Evergreen, the question is always, why? Easy access to firearms is a major factor. Private sales often bypass background checks. Some argue for stricter gun laws, others defend gun rights, focusing on the person, not the weapon. The debate is deeply polarized, stalling progress. But it's not just about guns. Mental health is critical. Shooters are often isolated, bullied, and in distress, with warning signs missed or ignored. Schools lack resources, counselors are overwhelmed. The path to violence is complex, but intervention can make a difference. Addressing mental health is essential, not just to prevent violence, but to build a culture where every student feels seen and valued. The school environment itself can be a pressure cooker. Bullying, exclusion, and social hierarchies leave many students feeling invisible or targeted. The Evergreen shooter, like others before him, was ostracized. Building a compassionate, inclusive school climate is crucial. Anti-bullying programs and trusted adults can make a difference. The contagion effect is real media coverage, and online subcultures can inspire copycats. The internet amplifies this, connecting angry, isolated youths. Breaking the cycle means responsible media, digital literacy, and removing violent content online. It's a multifaceted problem that demands a multifaceted response. The trauma of a school shooting ripples through the entire community, leaving invisible wounds that linger long after the news cameras are gone. In the immediate aftermath, shock and disbelief settle over the town, as families, students, and teachers struggle to process the unthinkable. The sense of safety that once defined the school and the neighborhood is shattered in an instant, replaced by a haunting uncertainty that touches every corner of daily life. Survivors face lifelong scars. PTSD, anxiety, and fear become constant companions. Many students and staff find themselves reliving the trauma through nightmares and flashbacks, while others withdraw, unable to trust the world around them. Therapy sessions and support groups become lifelines, but the path to healing is long and often lonely. The school, once a place of laughter and learning, becomes a source of dread for many. Hallways echo with memories of what was lost, and heightened security measures serve as daily reminders of the tragedy. For some, simply returning to class is an act of courage. Families grieve, some for lost children, others for innocence stolen. The pain is shared, yet deeply personal. Each family's journey through grief is unique, marked by moments of anger, sorrow, and longing for answers that may never come. The whole town feels vulnerable. The question, could it happen here, is now, will it happen again? Fear and uncertainty ripple through neighborhoods, prompting difficult conversations about safety, responsibility, and the future of the community. Evergreen's identity is forever changed. What was once a symbol of small-town security is now marked by tragedy, and the community must grapple with how to move forward while honoring those lost. The tragedy strains relationships, fuels debates, and leaves teachers and first responders with their own trauma. Educators and emergency personnel, hailed as heroes, often struggle with guilt and emotional exhaustion, needing support as much as the students they protect. Economic impacts follow as the town's reputation suffers. Businesses close, families move away, and the local economy feels the weight of tragedy. The scars are not just emotional, they are financial, affecting livelihoods and the future of the town. Healing is slow, requiring mental health support, spaces for mourning, and a commitment to rebuild trust. Community members come together to support one another, creating new traditions and memorials that honor the past while looking toward the future. The process takes years, even generations. The pain may fade, but the memory remains, shaping the lives of those who stay and those who come after. The shooting didn't just take lives, it stole a community's sense of safety. Every day, parents and children navigate a new reality, one where vigilance replaces innocence. Recovery demands strength, patience, and compassion. It is a collective effort, requiring everyone to listen, support, and believe in the possibility of healing. The wounds are deep, but healing is possible. With time, unity, and unwavering support, the community can find hope again, proving that even in the darkest moments, resilience and love endure. In the aftermath, Colorado's call for action was immediate. One side demanded stricter gun laws, closing loopholes, banning assault weapons, strengthening red flag laws. Students led rallies, sharing stories and demanding change. Others argued for school security and arming personnel, focusing on deterrence and immediate response. Both sides agreed on the need for better mental health support. The debate is fierce, but the shared goal is clear: to prevent another tragedy. While politics stall, schools act. Threat assessment teams identify and support at-risk students before violence erupts. Social-emotional learning teaches empathy and connection. Programs like Safe to Tell empower students to report concerns anonymously. Mentorship and peer support combat isolation. Building safety means hardening schools and softening their culture. There's no single solution. Progress comes from many small, deliberate steps. The goal: ensure no more communities endure what Evergreen has faced. September 11th, 2025. One day later, Evergreen mourns, but also faces a choice. This tragedy cannot be just another headline. It must be a turning point. Real change requires moving past polarization and finding common ground. Universal background checks, mental health investment. These are possible steps. The most powerful voices are the students, survivors demanding a safer future. Supporting and amplifying them is crucial. Colorado's story doesn't have to be endless tragedy. The state's people are resilient and compassionate. Now they must turn grief into action and pain into purpose. The future is unwritten. Together, Colorado can write a new chapter, one where schools are safe and the echoes of gunfire finally fade.